Hi, I'm Susan Pallas, certified coach, and I'm happy you're here. So, what if you could actually create optimal health and well-being? What if you could reach that happy and healthy weight, whatever your history, your age, or your genetics? Sounds amazing, right? But how do we do that? It's not like we haven't tried before. This program is designed to awaken within you what's possible. My intention is to empower you with a shift in perspective and introduce you to a framework, tools, and support to make your journey not only successful, but enjoyable along the way. If you're like me, you've been on a diet or 5, and research has shown that diets don't work. In fact, a staggering statistic is that 85% of us that go on a diet to lose weight will find that weight and more again within 2 years without behavioral support and change. Repeated yo-yo dieting can slow our metabolism, cause us to overeat, become obsessed with food, and feel depressed and really bad about ourselves. We can be successful in every area of our life, and a brownie can take us down, making us feel weak-willed and defeated. So I'm going to show you that it's not your fault and what you can do about it. That was me. I was a yo-yo dieter, always trying to find a way to eat and exercise that would help me keep my weight down without starving. I exercised every day, 7 days a week, ate all organic, and was still overweight, tired all the time, always hungry and craving for sugar. So I found, after a lot of research, I found a way to get off of that diet roller coaster and eat in a way that satisfied me and helped keep me at a healthy weight and not obsessed with food, having peace around food and exercise for enjoyment and health, not to chase the scale. And that's what I'm going to help you do, and I've kept that for 11 years. So I'm excited to share with you today. Because what if your weight challenges actually turn out to be a blessing? What if this journey toward your happy and healthy weight leads you to understand more about yourself? And you could discover strength and insight within you that you didn't recognize that you had. What if you could create peace, energy, and freedom from the noise in your head and use that to help you in other areas as well? What if your pain could actually become your purpose, awakening compassion for others in a way that nobody else has? It can be hard to believe, but it can happen. No matter how many times you failed in the past, you can create a new future for yourself. I'm going to introduce you to a way of eating, a way of thinking and being that can make real transformation possible and lasting. Is it easy? Nope. Is it worth it? Absolutely yes. One of my favorite quotes is by Michael Jordan. It says, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been counted on to make the winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed." If you want a process to end yo-yo dieting, create the highest state of health for yourself, become the best version of yourself, then let's get started. So, how are we going to prepare for our journey? Well, I'd like you to have a journal handy, a journal and a pen, and give yourself about 5 minutes every day to reflect on what we've talked about, what we've learned. I'm going to tell you at the end of each session. And just give yourself some time to reflect and start thinking and become more mindful of your daily habits. We'll talk about that more later. I also want to give you some resources. First is Dr. A's Habits of Health. It's a book and a companion guide that I use to help me and my clients on our journeys. There is free resources there at the wazoo, so you can go and download a couple of chapters. There's from the website, habitsofhealth.com, and you can also go to my website, susanpallas.com, for recipes, resources, and support that you need. So let's get started. What is the problem? Why is it so hard for us to lose weight? Well, it's not our fault. Our biology, we are biologically designed for survival. Our bodies are designed to store fat and conserve energy. So if we gain weight just by looking at food, congratulations, you've got great genetics. You were meant to survive. If you were a slug on the couch and don't feel like getting up and exercising, congratulations, you are meant to survive. But we want to do more than survive, don't we? We want to thrive because we have resources that are plenty. And so our 10,000-year-old body is just not needed anymore. So we have to have a higher level of awareness that we want to cultivate to move beyond survival into thriving. The food industry doesn't help because there is so much research about the amount of sugar, the combination of sugar, fat, and salt that food companies put in food in restaurants to make us more addicted. It's that right combination. It's not just sugar. No one drinks oil by itself. No one downs packets of sugar by themselves. It's that combination, sugar, fat, and salt, that makes us want to eat more and more and more. So it's really out of our control. We think we're needing willpower, but we don't. And speaking of willpower, willpower does not work. The executive part of our brain, the conscious part of our brain, gets tired very easily, so that our willpower runs out. Even if we have to memorize a couple extra numbers in our day, our limbic system's going to kick in, and our emotional brain is going to take over, having us make choices that we wouldn't make if our rational part of our brain was in charge. So willpower alone, we can only rely on willpower for a couple of days, one day at the max. And so we want to find a way to not only overcome this biological need to eat more, conserve energy, but we want to find a way to stay connected to our biology, use our instincts for good, and then learn what habits we want to create to go from surviving to thriving. So, one of the things, the main thing that we want to think about when making change is what's our motivation. See, conflict motivation, conflict driven. My clothes are too tight. I hate myself. I feel guilty. I'm going to, that beating up on ourselves that we do, or is that only me? That doesn't work. There is no motivation that's going to make permanent and lasting change that is conflict driven. So if you go in, your doctor tells you have high blood pressure, you need to lose 20 pounds. You're pre-diabetic, you're diabetic. And so you start a program based on a conflict that you want something to go away. You'll be able to make a change for a little while, but once that conflict goes away, your clothes feel better. 3 months later, your doctor says, great job, your blood pressure's down, I'm going to take you off blood pressure medication. Well, what's going to happen is that motivation isn't there anymore, and you're going to go right back to the old habits. You're not going to take the action. So we need to create a new orientation, one that's not based on conflict. We're not trying to fix a problem. We are not broken. We do not need fixing. We're not bad people because we want to eat a cookie. We just want to soothe ourselves, and we just want to survive. And that's how we know how to do it now, and we'll learn some processes to help us later. So if conflict doesn't work, what's wrong doesn't work, how do we want to think to create permanent and lasting change? Well, we want to focus on why we want to do something. Why do we want to lose weight? Because we all would love to be thin, be rich, be, successful, but we don't always want to do what it takes. So why is it that we want to reach our healthy and happy weight? So most people would say, well, I want to be healthy. Great. So let's dig a little deeper. So why do you want to be healthy? Well, I want to be around for my kids and my grandkids. I want to watch them grow up. Great. So we're digging a little bit deeper. So when we're tying our actions, we're tying it to something bigger, to our longevity, to being part of our family. So why do I want to lose weight? Well, I want to look good in my clothes. So why do you want to look good in clothes? Because I want to feel attractive. So why do you want to feel attractive? Well, I want to feel attractive for my wife or my husband or my spouse or my partner. Or I want to feel attractive. I want to be my best self when I go into a room at work. So there's always a deeper level of why we want to do something, and that's what we're looking for. So you're going to dig a little bit deeper. Why do we want to do that? Because what will happen is if we do something, and we want to find that intrinsic motivation. Why do we want to do it for ourselves? Because if we're doing it for our doctor, because we think we should, we're going to be resistant. And we're never going to have the motivation it's going to take to see the job done, to get to where we want to go. It's going to take a little bit of effort, but we're going to but it's going to be worth it when our motivation is in the right place. So we want to have it intrinsic to us and not be out of obligation. And we want to create an identity of who we want to be. So I remember my friend, she had a baby and then she lost her baby weight pretty quickly. And I said, wow, you look great. How did you lose your weight so quickly? She says, well, I decided I wanted to be a thin mom, thin, healthy mom. And so that guided her actions. So it was her identity of being, a thin mom. And what can happen, like say you're trying to quit smoking. So you can try and quit smoking, or you can be a non-smoker. So that's what we're moving into. How do we create an identity that speaks to who we want to show up in the world? And too often we don't take the time to think about that. So that's what we're going to do. So we want to make choices. And so when we get our mindset right and we understand why we want to do something, well, now we need a framework on making choices, because we can want to lose weight and then the next minute, we're going to go eat a donut, or the next day and feel bad, right? And guilt doesn't help a thing. So we're going to there's 3 hierarchies of choice. The fundamental choice is, again, our reason for being. It is that identity. It defines our state of being. It's where we stand. My friend who wanted to be a thin mom, a person who wants to show up as their best self in their work. They're the best at what they do and they want to show up healthy and at their peak performance. And it's just what's most important, and it's based on all the others. So my friend who wanted to be a thin mom, all her choices, what she was going to eat, was based on that identity. So the second thing, the other choice, is a primary choice. That is our goal. And so often we want to set our goal and we want it to be positive, and we want it to be achievable, and it's the target that we want to reach. So that when we look at, well, I want to reach a healthy weight and I want to have pizza with my family or friends, well, those are 2 choices that are, neither one's bad. It's not good or bad, right or wrong. But when you look at these choices, which one matters most in this moment? And we have a practice in the Habits of Health called Stop, Challenge, Choose. So that when you're faced with 2 choices, we want to look at, stop, will this get me closer to where I want to go, or further behind? Which one do I want? And not beat up on yourself for making the choice, because it's your choice. So the framework, now we want to talk about So we want to put this in a context, and we call this structural dynamics, a structural tension chart, because the difference between where we are and where we want to be creates a dynamic kind of tension. So if we're here and we want to reach a healthy weight, and so we're here, and so what happens? We have tension, and this tension motivates us to take action, right? It's a difference between where they are, where we want to be. So as we start taking these actions, I'm going to talk about our action steps in just a second. What we're doing, the tension lessens. And like I was saying, if it's conflict driven, well, now there's no tension. And so we're propelled back. We'll stop taking the action, go back to where we were. So we want to always, when we're moving forward, we want to not only create tension, once we start reaching our goal, we want to create a new goal, a new habit. We want to get towards health. So we want to keep moving forward. Weight loss is just the first stage in your journey to creating health. So what does this look like? We have primary choices. We have our fundamental choice. We have our primary choice, which is our goal, where we want to get to. And then we want to look at the action steps that are going to get us there. What are those? Those are secondary choices. In and of themselves, we don't want to make those choices. So getting up at 6 o'clock and exercising may not be something we want to do, but it helps us get to our goal. Eating a salad instead of fried wings or something is maybe something we wouldn't want to do, but we want to reach our goal. And so it's within a context. So secondary choices in and of themselves are things that we may or may not want to do, but we do them because we want to reach our goal. We do that all the time. So if you've ever gotten a degree in college or went to college or high school and gotten your diploma, well, did you like studying? No, but you did it because you wanted the outcome. So I say this, do you like, if you're a parent, do you like changing poopy diapers? No, you don't like changing poopy diapers, but you do it without thinking about it because why? You want healthy children. So I was watching the Green Bay Packers on football, and it was like snowing. And I'm thinking these guys play football in the snow, and the fans sit and watch in the snow. Did they want to be in the snow? No, but they wanted to watch the game. They wanted to play the game. So you're going to want to look at, one, what's your motivation? What's that fundamental choice that you want to make to be a healthy person? What's your primary goal? What's the first step to reach it? Healthy weight. Might be adding exercise, running a 5K. And then what are the steps you need to get there? Now, where we want to look at is what is our current reality. Sometimes we're not always honest about where we are and how much it cost us to be there. So we may not have the energy we need, and we may be short with our, kids and our family or our coworkers. And we don't really want to be. So we want to look at what our health costs us and be really honest about that, because sometimes we're not always honest about where it is. And that's what this process is going to do. You're going to really want to look at, so let's go ahead and review what we've learned today. So we are going to create a new mindset of what we want to create. Not solving a problem, not broken. What is it that we want to create? Who do we want to be? How do we want to feel? And why do we want that? Create this compelling vision for your future. You can create a vision board, a dream board, cutting out pictures to keep it handy, to allow you to see what's most important to you. Where are we now? Current reality, what's it costing us? Get really in touch with, it's not just a few extra pounds. It's causing high blood pressure. It's causing, things that we don't want. So, and think about what it is you really want and write it down in your journal this week. So where are you? Where do you want to be? Really dream. We don't even take time to dream about what's possible because we just don't think it is. And what are the choices that you can make to go to create this future version of yourself? And these are your secondary choices. So in this context, I hope this helps. And until we meet again, we're going to dive into looking at our habits and how to create those. But think about, what are some of the goals that you want to create? Where are you now? And what are some action steps that you can take to move you forward? Not because you have to, because you want to. Until next time.